I'm going to show you a trick on checking the rear main seals. You'll be surprised if you do enough motors. What we do is we take some non-drying blue dye, put it on the crank, and then drop it into place. Then rotate the crank just ever so slightly. And you can see where the seal made contact. Sometimes it don't even touch at all. It's amazing. And then people wonder why they have rear main oil leaks. This one has an okay line. So then you want to make sure that the groove is thoroughly clean, and use some brake clean on it or something and get that cleaned out really well. Then take and cut some strips of the aluminum tape. This stuff measures out at 4/1000 thick, and you just put it in there behind the seal. And sometimes it takes a few strips to get the amount of contact that you want with the seal. Alright, so I'm starting out with just one strip, 4/1000 in there, and then put the seal in and check it again, and then see what kind of pattern we get. That's a little bit better. That'll be good enough for this motor, and we'll put the crank in, and you repeat the process with the cap until you get the same pattern. Then you button it up. Of course, once you get the seal pattern that you want, make sure you do put sealant on the seal, on the back side of it and the ends of it before you put it together. Normally you would stagger the joints on this one so that they aren't right on the seam with the block, but on this one it's got the seal that's got the ears on it, so it's a little harder to stagger. Okay, place the cap on there, torqued it to specs, turn the crank back and forth just a little bit, and I'm getting hardly any contact on the seal. So we'll take and shim that one out and double check it before we seal everything up. Alright, that's what it should look like. I've got two layers on this side, which would be 8/1000, because there was less contact than on the block side. So we'll put the seal in there and check it and see what it looks like. Cap is torqued to specs. I'm just going to give it a little bit of back and forward so we don't interfere with the lower seal and what pattern it's leaving. We don't want to, so we can get just what the top seal is touching on the crank. And we'll pull it loose and see what it looks like here. Well, still not enough. Just a faint line going around there. So we'll add a little more shims and check it again. All right, theirs was 16 thousandths in shims. I've added 4 shims, And we're starting to get a little bit of width there to the line. So we know the seal's making contact now. Kind of compare it here. To the bottom. We still got we got a little bit better contact on the bottom. It's not uncommon for the cap and the block to be different. One requiring more shim than the other. I think I'm going to go with one more shim on the cap. See if we can get it to match the bottom a little bit better there. Since I've now added 20 thousandths in shim, I took and sanded down the ends just a little bit, belt sander, to give a little more clearance so it don't bulge it out in any way on the sides from too much pressure. All right, so we got 20 thousandths now. Got a little bit more contact there. So we'll go with that. We have found that it doesn't really matter if you buy the expensive seals or the less expensive seals. It doesn't affect it a lot. Sometimes the less expensive seals still better than the expensive ones. And just a lot of it might have to do with machining of the block. Different motors, seen motors where the seals don't even touch at all. And people wonder why they have such a problem with rear main seals leaking. It's something that really needs checked upon assembly. Make sure the seal's able to do its job. I hope this video was helpful and will prevent some heartache for somebody down the road.